So we built this walkway here, which we call our Treetop Walk, back at just before COVID started, and we finished it during that first year of COVID. It's changed things in the park because people can now get a really nice, aerial view of what's going on around. But we felt that it was a little bit short, so what I decided to do was, as soon as COVID finished, which was about 4 months ago, we started on this other section here. So we've now taken it right the way across. So this was where it ended, and we've taken this section out and continued now across to the other side of the park, which is quite a nice walk. We found that people really love this, and it now gives us a connection right through the middle, which we didn't have before. In the middle here we put a nice map in for people to stop and have a look and see what's around them and see exactly where they are. And in the middle here we widened it out a little bit. That was a necessary thing to do to get the two pathways for the elephants to cross underneath. So I decided to make this a little stop point where people could sit down and relax. So once we got to the other side here, we took steps down there so people could join it, and then we stopped right here. The idea being now that we're going to continue on across here, and over here, if you can see it through the trees, is the start of the construction of a new coffee shop that we're going to put in. So it's going to be coffee and cocktails, and it's right next to the waterfall and the little lake there, and it's in the middle of the elephant free roam area, so it's going to be quite a nice little spot. People won't be able to get down from there. They'll have to use this as the entrance and exit, but that's what will make it quite nice. So they'll have a little, an experience that wouldn't have had before. This is ulin, the wood that we made this out of, and it's called ironwood in English. In Indonesia, it's very, very hard to find. Only comes from one island in Borneo, and consequently, because of deforestation, they've stopped the cutting of it. So all this we used here is all recycled. We found it in a whole old housing estate in Borneo, and these actually had houses on top of them. They were 8-metre posts, and we needed about 100 of them to finish this project. So here we have the Joglo house, which is going to go on top of this project here for the coffee house. This is quite old, probably about 350 years old, and came from the island of Madura. It's really beautifully carved, but it's very, very heavy teak wood. So to get it up onto this structure is going to be quite difficult. We also have to put the posts into huge steel pillars to get it up 4 metres above the ground. So we've had to deconstruct the bottom of the posts, all the carving, which is all here, all the carving pieces. We've taken all that off, repaired it, and once these go up, that'll be then put back on again. So we're going to try and maintain its originality to every way we can. So the first job here to get this constructed with using these huge steel poles was to build a whole foundation. That's all steel and concrete, joining all this together. And what we will do is fill these with concrete right up to about 40 centimetres from the top, then drop the wooden posts into the poles, bolt them through, and then concrete them also. Then what will happen is we'll lay timber over the top of these steel beams and lay the floor on. Once the floor is laid on this area, which will join into the secondary deck that's going out this way to join that path, then we can actually work on the top. So to get these posts to stand up here is quite difficult because we are here 4 metres above the ground. So these posts here actually fit into the top of the steel poles. And what we did to connect them was quite clever actually. We put a bolt through these. We took all the carving off these, the carving that was on here. We stripped all that off, and then when it's finished, we then put it back on again like this, so it covers it all up. Extreme care was taken in building the new roof in order to keep the feel and mood of the original structure. Then, of course, all the finishing touches, including staining and varnish, etc. Well, here it is, finally finished. We've just finished the last of the varnishing off, so it's all complete. And we've put the lights in. Interesting to see that no cables are in sight. We've completely covered all the cables up, so that's looking very, very nice. And the only little thing left to do now, apart from the furniture arriving, is to make the bar, the display cabinet, wash table, etc., and the cashier. So this will cover right across here. It's pretty nice, huh? This is a 350-year-old Joglo house from Madura, so it's quite a beautiful piece of art in itself. Been saving it for a special project, and this has turned out to be the project. The coffee shop and cocktail bar.
Well, the furniture's all arrived. We found these beautiful granite tabletops which blend in very well with the environment.
So it's really coming together now. We've made it, so it's quite versatile. We can move tables around and, make the long tables or short tables.
The bar is finally finished.
Take a look over here.
See the carving on these poles here? Well, these other poles behind the bar are hidden. So we took the carvings off, then we laid them into the front of the bar. So it all looks like part of the same building.
So we've now got the electronic blinds in, which covers the whole of the outside. So if we have heavy rain or wind that's a bit of rain, we can now close it off and keep the tables and chairs dry, and also the customers dry. I'm very pleased with the way this whole project has turned out. So I thought it was only fitting that the first official function at the newly opened Treetops should be my own birthday party.